Hello, in this Minecraft mod pack development video, we're going to be going over how to create custom armor in a KubeJS 1.21.1 NeoForge mod pack instance, and we're going to go over an example. So before we get started, this video is brought to you by BisectHosting. They provide great services, and I'll get to more information about them later. To start off here, we need to go into we need to create a new armor material. So we do that with startup events.registry and then passing in armor material. That's going to be the first argument, and then second argument is the callback. So inside that we have event.create, and then we're going to call it something. So in this case, this is the Ruby armor type. Next, we specify the defense, which, as you can see, is self-explanatory. It's a list of helmet, chestplate, leggings, and boots, and then the integer specifies the actual defense for that. So helmet will give you 3 defense, chestplate will give you 8 defense, leggings will give you 5 defense, and boots will give you 3 defense in this example. Next is the enchantment value. Using that function, I'm passing in 24. If you want some examples on, basing it off of vanilla armor, I would highly recommend you visit the Minecraft wiki, and I'll give you an example from all the way from leather up to netherite, and then you can compare and see what do you want it better, what do you want it worse. Next, the function is equip sound. Here I'm passing in Minecraft item.armor.equip diamond because it's a gem, so I figured it would be similar to Ruby. Next, we need to specify the repair ingredient with the repair ingredient function, and then here I'm passing in ingredient.of QJS Ruby, which is here in my startup script, just this file dedicated to creating the Ruby item. And again, this is self-explanatory. Startup events.registry, passing in the item as the first argument, and then doing event.create. But I've covered this in other videos. After that, specify the armor toughness. Again, I would use the wiki to compare. And the knockback resistance. Again, I would use the wiki to compare that as well. So now that we have the armor material set up, I'm going to go into the actual items folder that I created, just dividing out the files appropriately. Here I'm creating all 4 of the armor piece items. So again, this is more advanced from just creating a regular item because it actually has to do something instead of just being an item. So as you can see in the event.create, I have 2 arguments here. The first one is the actual item ID, and then the second argument is the type. So here, obviously, Ruby helmet is going to be a helmet item. Ruby chestplate is going to be a chestplate item. Ruby leggings is going to be a leggings item. And Ruby boots is going to be a boots item. But beyond that, the armor has to actually be a specific material. Just like leather armor is of the leather material, iron armor is of the iron material, and so on and so forth. So we do that with the material method, an additional chained method after the create method. Here it's KubeJS Ruby. And again, that goes back to our Ruby armor type. So we have the actual item created, but at this point, it's not going to actually, it's just going to, there's no texture, there's no model. But before we get to that, I would like to give a shout out to my server hosting partner, BisectHosting. This is a great service that offers Minecraft server hosting along with over 80 other top online games. You can pre-install over 2,000 Minecraft mod packs automatically. They offer 24/7, 365 support to help troubleshoot your server, mods, plugins, config files, etc. You have full file access, so you can mess around with, especially if you're playing a mod pack. or a server where you need to get into the config files and things like that. You can host your server from across 20 locations across the globe to give you an adequate latency. And finally, they offer advanced DDoS protection. I highly recommend you check out the link in my description. That'll bring you to this website that I got this information from. There's this and plenty more that can help inform a possible purchase that would align to your budget and needs. So again, thank you to BisectHosting for supporting my channel and my modpacks. This is a great service, and I cannot say enough. So now back to the video. Next, we're going to, again, we need to, first let's talk about the textures. So there's two textures we need to worry about here. First is the actual item texture. So what is it going to look like in your inventory, in an inventory slot that's not your armor? Well, that's done in our textures, and then inside the textures folder, item. See, I'm passing in the Ruby, which I've done in another video, as well as all of the armor pieces. So helmet, chestplate, leggings, and boots. As you can see, they're named exactly as they are here. So Ruby helmet matches Ruby helmet, and so on. So we have the regular inventory slot item now, but now we need to show what it's going to look like as an armor slot. So basically, what is it going to look like on your player? Well, that's done with in the models folder. So instead of item, models, and then a subfolder in there is called armor. And then in that, I'm passing in Ruby layer 1 and 2. So as you can see, you can refer to the wiki in various GitHubs that have the regular Minecraft textures as you can say a starter guide to how to do it, because you need to do it a specific way. Like this is how you have to do it in order for it to show up on the player correctly. That's how it's just designed. Finally, we're going to go into the models. So here, this is how it's going to make it have a 3D shape. So our first example here is for the helmet, and it's very similar to all four of these. This is a JSON file. The first line specifies the parent texture, the parent model, I mean, which is Minecraft item generated. And then inside that, we need to make a textures argument, and then inside that, curly braces, not bars or brackets. We need to define layer 0, which is KubeJS item Ruby helmet, which links to the actual textures that we just talked about. And this is real similar with chestplate, leggings, and boots. So you can just copy and paste that once you have it. If you don't really understand this, don't worry about it. But this is the exact way you need to structure the JSON file, or else it will not work. So now let us see the actual benefits of this in game. So as you can see, I have KubeJS highlighted here. We have our Ruby item. Forgive the textures, I'm not terribly good with texturing, but the point still stands. And then our Ruby helmet, chestplate, leggings, and boots. So it works, it looks like an item. And then when we put it on our armor, as you can see, it works like armor. So if you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out in the comments, and I would be happy to help. Otherwise, I appreciate your time watching this video, and have a great day.